Hello, everybody. How are you? I am Nikita Brown, the nurse practitioner with Zing Life Services that comes to teach you about ways to get and stay healthy, to get that level of life that you desire, and to get motivated to maintain your next level of health. So as you come on in, make sure you say hello. I'm super excited to come to you just to get our top 10 at 10 out of the way. So we come to you Monday through Friday at 10 p.m. on Facebook Live to give you tips and tricks on how you can live not only days and weeks, but months and years longer into your next level of health. And so today just happens to be Wednesday, and so what is going well with you today? Hopefully you've had a great day, that things are going well. And if you're watching this again on replay or watching me live right now, make sure that you shout out what's going well in your world on today. We like to hear from those who meet us in the room, as we call it, at the live top 10 at 10 to see what's going on with you. So we've had a super exciting topic. One of our major services that we provide is CPR and first aid. And so June 1st through 7th is National CPR and AED Awareness Week. And so we have taken this opportunity to really educate and train you about those topics. Now, realizing those are classes that we teach all year long, but again, giving honor to the week that is nationally recognized as CPR and AED Awareness Week, we have done our due diligence by making sure that we have given you some education as it relates to CPR. So, have you been on the hunt for AEDs? We posted that question out. Have you been on the hunt for AEDs? So it has been very interesting. Last night, we determined that AED actually means automated external defibrillator. And so I asked you if you had opportunity to take a look and see where you see those three letters today, AED, where you see that posted, because you may have actually been around AEDs but really never realized because it was this thing you probably didn't know what you were looking at. But now that you've gotten a little education and you know to be on the lookout for them, hopefully you stay ever vigilant for AEDs. Now, where are you finding them? Let us know where you see them, because they are quite common in public places today. Had someone tell me that their church is going to get an AED, so that is super exciting because we know that people are in places and we never know when a cardiac event or when an emergency may happen. So the church is a perfect place to go ahead and get an AED in place, because we know there will be people who know CPR and they'll be able to take that AED and to start using it. Now, AEDs aren't just for those who are trained in CPR, although that is a part of the training, but even the layperson can use an AED. So we want to make sure that we let people know it is the tool that you can use even if you haven't received any formal training with it. It's the tool that typically is automated. So the first step, as we talked about last night, is that you have to turn it on. So the first step is just to turn the AED on, and that will give you that automated response so that you will know what to do from there. Now, we also talked about the CPR and where you actually are finding CPR of importance. So CPR is that thing that everybody should probably know, but if you have a question as to if CPR is for you, we do have a download for you at bit.ly/I need CPR. And so that will give you information, because you may be thinking, oh, am I somebody who needs CPR? I don't think I need that class. It's not for me. Go to bit.ly/I need CPR to see if you in fact fit those categories and if you in fact do need CPR. Because we also asked that question, who actually realizes they need CPR? And so we had another response to come through today, and it was barbers. So barbers and beauticians and stylists actually should have that CPR training. So I'm getting this information from my viewers, from the people who look and who get this education and then take it back and say, hey, wait a minute. My barber actually just had a course on CPR because he never knows who's going to be in the shop who might have an emergency. So that information is coming from you. So tell me who else besides healthcare professionals. We had school workers, child care providers, those people we've already had made mention in the broadcast. But if you think of anybody else who may require CPR training, who should probably get it, let me know in the comments, because we are taking all this information back. And again, if you're not sure, bit.ly/I need CPR. So let's talk about our mission, because every night during the broadcast we make sure that we say what the mission of Zing Life Services is. We are a nonprofit company whose mission is to improve the quality of life within the community. So we focus on basic life skills, health education and training, and self-esteem development. So we target resources that will impact health disparities and inequalities to get people to that level of self-fulfillment. So that's who we are, and that is what we do. And we always talked about that we offer CPR training, and it's very, very important in our community, because we recognize that CPR is the thing that if you get started early after an event, it can and does save lives. Now, we have a call out for ambassadors. So Zing ambassadors, those people who are passionate about what we do, about our mission, who are super excited, as well as we are, to spread the word to the community, to get the education and resources that we have available out. bit.ly/ZingBrandIam. That is where you're going to get opportunity to become a brand ambassador. And yes, we need you. So we need you to help support us in this mission. We need you to get the feet on the ground, and we need you to walk alongside with us to make sure that we are being impactful with our mission. So bit.ly/ZingBrandIam. So that is the call for Zing Brand Ambassadors. And so we do want people to hop on board with us and really stand behind us in our brand. So that's Zing Brand Ambassadors. Now, people have asked about donations, because again, it is CPR and AED Awareness Month. That is the class that we have, but those classes do have a fee. While we typically tend to be less expensive than our competitors and other people who are providing the trainings in the community, it is essential that there is a fee to help support not only the supplies, but the certification that we get from the American Heart Association. So some people have asked, you know what, we know a barrier to healthcare is that people do not have the financial resources to take this class, and they are convinced, as we are, that everyone needs this class. And so if you are one of those people and are ready for the link, we have it here, because you can donate to the cause. We will take your support and be able to teach and train more people who are not able to afford those classes. So bit.ly/ZingDonation is what you're going to need if you are interested. We've had people to ask in being a donation or a sponsor to a lifesaver. Now, we're going to talk about a lifesaver and what lifesavers are in just a minute. So stay tuned. That's going to be our health topic of the night, our health and life topic. We do this top 10 at 10 again, Monday through Friday at 10 p.m. to talk about life and health, and to merge the two, because we know that life is not as important if you don't have your health and if you don't value it. So all right, so here we go. So if you're here watching live, or if you're on replay, make sure you press hashtag replay. If you're watching this from our blog, welcome, welcome, welcome. And you can put your comments there as well. So we are going to get right into our topic for tonight. So who likes candy? Does anybody like candy? I know my kids like candy. It's a thing to be desired by most people. So who likes candy? Because tonight we're going to talk about this type of candy. This is probably backwards to you, but this is Lifesavers, and many of you know what Lifesavers are. So Lifesavers come in many different flavors. You can see this is a multi-flavored package, okay? So Lifesavers come in many different flavors. And what I want to know from you is, what is your favorite flavor? Everybody has that favorite flavor of Lifesavers that they love. So what is your favorite flavor, or what is your favorite color? Because everybody has a favorite color of Lifesavers. I know people typically try to get a particular color, is my experience. So we are talking about Lifesavers tonight. They come in different flavors. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, everybody, thanks for tuning in. And what is your favorite flavor of Lifesavers? Because Lifesavers are going to be an important combination of what we are talking about tonight. And so pineapple is in the comments. People like the pineapple flavor. So it's my experience that people like the red. That's typical of every candy, I think. People go for the red first, right? It doesn't matter if it's strawberry or cherry or what flavor red tends to be, but I see people going for the red flavored candy first most of the time, and I actually like pineapple as well. So what are your favorite flavors of Lifesavers? So in this particular roll of Lifesavers, there are 5 flavors. So there are cherry, there's raspberry, there's watermelon, there's orange, and yes, there is pineapple. So the thing about Lifesavers, and we are going to see how these Lifesavers are congruent with our actual life. Hence, probably why somebody decided to name them Lifesavers. So they're all the same size, right? Hence, they fit into this roll. They're all the same size, and they all have a hole in the middle. So that is the common denominator in all of Lifesavers. They're the same size, and they all have a hole in the middle. Now, we call the people that we teach and train CPR in Lifesavers. So you'll see that around our page and on our Facebook page and website, Lifesavers. So we're talking not about these type of Lifesavers, but we are talking about the people that we train to save lives, and we offer that training in the way of CPR or first aid. So we call our clients Lifesavers, the people that we train CPR Lifesavers, and they are all people, right? So they're all, just like this Lifesavers, they're all Lifesavers. They're all people, but they come in different sizes and different shapes. So just like these Lifesavers come in different flavors, we have people that come in different shapes and sizes, ages. So we train all people as it relates to CPR. So that's why we call them Lifesavers. The thing that everybody has in common is that everybody has an interior part of their body. We all have hearts, we all have lungs, we all have a brain. So just like these Lifesavers, they all have a hole in the middle. Well, everybody has those basic body parts, okay? The heart is essential in CPR because that's what we're going to do compressions on. And giving those breaths, 2 breaths, is helpful to get to the lungs that everybody needs to breathe. And so you can see when we train Lifesavers, these Lifesavers that you look at tend to be just different colors, different flavors, but they are the same candy. That's just like people. So everybody is a person. Everybody has blood. Everybody has a heart, lungs, brain. But you can teach somebody life-saving techniques to help to save a life. Now, remember, this is a multi-flavored package or multi-flavored roll, but you are able to get some bags of Lifesavers that are just individual colors. So if you like the peppermint, yes, Lifesavers. If you like the peppermint, for instance, if you like the red ones, for instance, I think you can buy bags that just have those particular colors of Lifesavers. So we're talking about Lifesavers because this is what we call the people who we train in CPR. We train our people to be Lifesavers because even though everybody comes in different shapes, different sizes, different colors, i.e. people of different ethnicities, different ages, different religions, they are all people, right? Just like all the candy in this roll, they are Lifesavers, even though there are different flavors. So you can liken that to your community. So once you start to have Lifesavers that are in a bag, and that bag is just one particular color, all peppermint, all spearmint, all red or cherry, then that's like communities of people. How we are so oftentimes in our different silos, in our different communities of people. And so that doesn't keep you from being a lifesaver, even though you are around people who look like you or who are in your community. It just means that everybody has the same color, right? So that's how we tend to look at our communities. And that's what Zing does. We go into communities. So communities often are people who are the same ethnicity, maybe church-based communities or faith-based communities, maybe particular organizations. Those communities have things in common. So they're all alike. They're like the Lifesavers. They're the same color in the bag. So we go into those communities and we want to infiltrate those communities to create more lifesavers. So if you are a part of a community and you say, hey, I don't know if we know CPR, we should all be lifesavers, then I want you to reach out to us so that we can make sure that we get your community trained to be lifesavers. Because it is super important that we have a group of lifesavers in every community. Now, Zing has a community that is our community of Zing team is what we call it. And so those are the people who have a desire to actually walk a little closer with us. They have a desire to get a little closer to their next level. And so that's what we call our Zing team. So they are a community of women who are lifesavers, but they are in our group. Now, if you desire to be a part of that group, that's at bit.ly, the Zing team. So that's where you get behind the scenes updates and information, and we do have a challenge going on. So if you're part of the Zing team, make sure you look at that challenge to ensure that you are doing what it takes to meet this challenge for this week, okay? So that's our conversation on lifesavers. But I do have a couple more questions, because if you are still here, make sure you put in the comments some answers so I can see if people are here. And if you're on replay, make sure you put hashtag replay. Now, why do we eat lifesavers? So it's candy, right? Why do you eat lifesavers? Why would you eat it? So ultimately, it's to satisfy. It's to satisfy some either sweet tooth. It's to satisfy the desire to have something to crunch in your mouth. It might not necessarily be that you need something sweet. It may mean that you just need something in your mouth. Hey, Keisha, thanks for coming back in. So why do you eat lifesavers? That's the question that's on the floor. Why do you eat lifesavers? Most people say it's candy. Who doesn't eat candy? But let me ask you, why do you eat lifesavers? Because there are many different reasons that people eat lifesavers. Just to have some, for some people it's to satisfy some nervousness. For some people it's to have something in their mouth, like people that chew gum, right? But ultimately it's the reason that you eat lifesavers. It's the reason that you have that thing in your mouth. So why do you need CPR? You need CPR ultimately to make sure that you have what it takes to save a life. That you have the skills on hand so that you know what to do in the event of an emergency, because nobody wants to be in that unfortunate situation. But if you are, you need to know what to do. And so we are having this conversation because not only is CPR and first aid our signature programs and projects, and that's the class that we teach all year long, but it is National CPR and AED Awareness Week. So we want to make sure that we get you this information this week, get it fresh on your brain, so that as you tune into our page to see our list of events, you can make sure if you are not certified and trained and up to date with your CPR, that you get that ball rolling. So you will never think of life the same if you need to use CPR and you don't know how. So we all take for granted the fact that we haven't had to initiate that call when someone says, is there somebody here who knows CPR? You all take for granted the fact that you probably haven't been around any environments in which that occurred. But what if you are? What if you are? And if you are, and it happens, and you realize that you had an opportunity to get trained and you didn't, you probably will never look at life again. Never look at life the same again. So we want to make sure you understand why you have opportunity that means you should take advantage of the opportunity during this particular lifetime. So, why Lifesavers? So there are 4 reasons why Lifesavers. So number 1, they're good. They're sweet little bites of goodness. Sweet little bites of goodness. That's what they are. Number 2, they're small, but they're mighty. Small, but mighty. Number 3, they're tough. I just dropped them. You probably heard it. They're tough with a hard exterior, but they're still packing a big punch. So, 3 reasons so far why you should eat Lifesavers. 1, they're good. They're sweet. They're small, but they're mighty. And they're tough. They've got a hard exterior. And 4th, they're round. So that roundness kind of means that they just roll, right? Things just kind of roll right off of them. That's how you should be. Remember, we train Lifesavers. So we train Lifesavers. And yes, you like the chewy ones. You like them because they're good and they're sweet and they're strong and they're tough. And so we train Lifesavers. And because we train Lifesavers, those are all the things that we train our clients. We train the goodness and the sweetness, and that you are small but mighty. So lots of people say, I'm not big enough to be able to do compressions on somebody's chest. Or maybe you think my child's not old enough to learn CPR. Small, whoops, but mighty, and they're on the floor right now. But they're packing a big punch. They're tough. So they're small but mighty, and they're tough. They've got a hard exterior, and that's what happens with you. When you start to use these skills of CPR, you start to realize how tough your exterior really is, how you can step up to the challenge to help save a life, because we are training Lifesavers. And the other thing is that they're round. So just like this just fell on the floor and just kind of rolled away, that's what happens when you need to use your CPR skills. It kind of just rolls right back to the front of your memory, and you just are able to use those skills at that particular time because you have the appropriate training. You have what it takes to be a lifesaver, but you will only have what it takes if you take the opportunity to get trained. So remember, why Lifesavers? 1, they're good, they're sweet. 2, small but mighty. 3, they pack a big punch, they're tough. And 4, they're round. So at Zing, we train Lifesavers. We train people to make sure that they know they have the skills to do what it takes during that during that time when an emergency happens, because we want to make sure that you can help to save a life if at all possible. So that's who we are. That's what we do. And that is my top 10 at 10 for tonight. So make sure, if you are not CPR trained, if you don't even know if you need a class, go to bit.ly/I-need-CPR to get that free download to see if you are on that list. Because if you are on that list, then yes, you do need to become a lifesaver. And remember all the reasons that you need to become a lifesaver. You need to become a lifesaver because yes, you are good. Your sweetness will allow you to get this training. It'll allow you to understand it. You're small, mighty, you're tough, but yes, you will be able to step up to that challenge and use the CPR skills when you need it. So again, we have our call for Zing ambassadors out. If you would like to be a Zing ambassador and follow us along in our brand as we continue to grow and change and be instrumental in helping to impact the community, bit.ly/ZingBrandsIam. And also for those who asked about donations for people who are unable to afford CPR classes, that barrier to getting CPR, because we know our mission is to go into the communities to teach and train. We've had people ask about that. You can go to bit.ly/ZingDonation. So I will be back. Of course, Top 10 at 10 is Monday through Friday at 10 p.m. So we will be back with you tomorrow night. Have a good one. Bye.